Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to a new moon, new energies, March 2022 energy insights. Oh my goodness. Can you feel the power of the energies that are flowing to us? Woo! My goodness. My goodness. I'm just going to try and pull something, a resource that I like to use. We have powerful energy supporting us. Holy. Woo. It may not feel like that for some of you. For some of you who have, you may have started experiencing this about the full moon in February. The energies that have been, coming through since the full moon have been very much a let's unearth what you've stuffed down deep within you that you need to release and heal in some way. And so you will find things that you thought you dealt with years ago come up that you didn't deal with years ago. And you may have released it in some way, but you didn't necessarily do the forgiveness that you're being called to do. So if you're experiencing these old things that are coming up very emotionally for you, it's probably because there's still a tether there that you are being asked to release in some way. And generally that is through forgiveness, not only towards the other person, but forgiving yourself for holding on to it for that long and your part in whatever that experience was. So breathe. It will be okay, because you are being asked to do this now for the next part of your journey. And I'll get into that more as I talk about the March 2022 energy insights. Let's back up a little though, because some of you may not know who I am. My name is Jackie Ellis. I'm an energetics master. I help people decode the energy within them so that they can transform their life into one that they love, into one that they know that they're stepping into their purpose in some way, and they are making a change for themselves and for other people. I'm a Reiki master, so I help heal the energies within people. And I'm also a mindset coach. So I connect the two areas because what we feel, or what the thoughts we have, the emotions we feel, the patterns that we follow, the actions that we take, all connect to energies that we are holding, energies that we are using, and energies that are not helping us anymore. And so when I work with my clients, I really help them dig into how to release them, how to heal them, and how to step forward in their power, in the light once again. The messages that I got for March 2022. So how I do these videos for the beginning of the month. I release these videos not only to help the general public in some way, but also to help my Soul Talk members really explore how their month could be if they are choosing to step into their power in ways that they never maybe thought that they could do. And then on Saturday, this coming Saturday, so March 5th, we are meeting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time just to talk about what those messages said, what resonated most with my members, and explore what it could mean, what didn't necessarily fit for them, but get a better understanding what it could mean for their life if it does somehow, like if things shift in different ways throughout the month, and all of a sudden they're in those situations where they're having to navigate those energies that they didn't necessarily expect at the beginning of the month. So if you are not a member now, there's still time. And the link is down below. If you are not sure you want to become a member, then you have the opportunity to go to my booking appointment page, and under group session, you can purchase one session. One session, no obligation, but you can just join us and explore and join the community where we have a discussion and really delve into our growth from a personal development and spiritual and our relationships with ourselves and our relationships with other people, and really like talk about all the pillars of life. And I will be talking more about each pillar. There's 6 pillars. There's career, there are relationships, health, wealth, personal development, and spirituality. And I get messages for this energy insight. I get messages for each pillar. And we explore on Saturday, we will explore what those could mean for each of the members and what really resonated the most with those members. So I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to joining the discussion with you. And I'm pretty excited to see my members and any new people that want to join me. You're welcome. Welcome. Okay, so the overall messages for March. Powerful grounding support. Okay, so there was magical numbers through this reading. There was magical numbers that popped out at me that represent love in abundance. So there is a loving energy that's coming through to help us abundantly move forward in some way. And then it's also helping us to be universe, God, or one source provider wants us to be mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions, the actions we are taking, to make sure that we know that we are protected and safe as we are guided. So if we are following the guidance that universe or one source provider or God is giving us, then we will be in a position where we are in the light and we are protected and grounded and safe. We are supported. When we're in those moments where we are in alignment, when we are in the narrow pathway of light, there is cosmic harmony that allows us, that empowers us to bring more harmony within our life in ways that we didn't necessarily expect. Do we ignore the triggers? No, because the triggers are there to actually help us notice when we are out of alignment. Notice when we are stuck in some way. And they are there to help us, show us, give us the messages of what we need to do to step back into our power, to align our energy so that we can ascend to a higher level, so that we can bring more harmony and peace and understanding and love to our life in some way. I did not plan to talk about that at all, so that was a complete download. Okay, so the overall messages that I actually got in preparation for this, so if we turn on the news, look on social media, there is a feeling of instability and uncertainty everywhere. You can't you can't look anywhere where you don't feel, or you don't get this feeling of uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. There's like, I don't know if I feel safe and secure. The what if comes into play. And that is whether we are in the West or in the East or somewhere central in the world, there is that feeling, that polarizing battle, and in some places of the world, very much like a reality in their life, where it feels uncertain, and you're concerned for your safety, you're concerned for the future, you're concerned for the security going forward, that for your own life and for maybe other people and maybe family members and friends. But I want you to know, actually, God wants you to know that we are at a tipping point where we have the power to manifest new potentials and new outcomes. So put those messages, just kind of like acknowledge them, but like put them aside for a moment and think about what you would like life to look like. How would you like the world to be? More peace, more understanding, more loving energy, more acceptance, more appreciation, those higher vibrational loving energies that help us grow and learn and expand and really center into who He is, who we are meant to be. What I'm seeing when I think about the overall message from March is I see a grounding support. I'm actually seeing Mother Earth ascend to a higher level. I'm seeing enough of this loving energy and this manifestation happening that for this new earth, this new possibility, this new environment we all want to live in, finally coming to fruition, finally being realized. This is grounding support for us, and it helps us in order for us to get to that manifestation that we desire. We need to be mindful and willing to lead ourselves away from the past, any past decisions, any past patterns that we have found ourselves in that had kept us stuck in some way. And to know that your intuition is guiding you. Your intuition is driven by the knowledge base from God. And that intuition, your intuition, is helping you transform your life in ways that feel completely stable and secure. This month's focus is going to be further building foundational support through trust. So trusting ourselves, trusting God, trusting others, while we are being asked to be mindful of the words and thoughts that we are following, believing, and using. Whew. Following, believing, and using. Words are powerful. Words are powerful. In fact, we can no longer just use the same words that we have been using for years. We are at a precipice right now where we are being asked to really, truly do the inner work so that we can hear what Spirit is telling us to say, what Spirit is telling us to do. Because when we do that in a precise way, we cut through the illusion. We free us from binds, constraints, constructs, dark entities. And we truly protect ourselves in ways that you would not even comprehend if you're new to the warrior world. Trust what you're being told to say. Trust what you're being told to say exactly when you're being told to say it. The timing is important too, because sometimes we are given messages that we need to share, but the timing isn't right this very moment. So it's learning to discern and ask, okay, thank you for the message. Is that needed right now? No, now's not the right time. Okay. Will you tell me when the right time is when the right timing is to share? Yes. Okay. You are guided every step of the way. But it's developing that trust. It's developing that relationship that you learn, so you learn to trust yourself in doing what you're being asked to do, in listening to what you're being asked to listen to. And knowing that it's for a bigger purpose than what our tiny little brains can conceive. There are some powerful messages that are going to come through with the 6 pillars of life. And I want you to really listen to them. I want you to really sit with them and explore what that could mean for you. Because some of these messages, there was more than one message. There was more than one option or opportunity available. And for some of you, you may actually experience both. Or on some level, a combination of them. Okay, so I'm going to talk about career first. Career can be your job that you have right now, or it can be something that is really deeply passionate for you. So it could be something that you've been doing, working on the sides, that is a passion project for yourself. If you are a stay-at-home parent, then your career is your family. It is making sure that you are being the best person that you can be for your people. It is making sure that you are being there for the people that depend on you in ways that are huge. Okay, so career. So the messages that I got is that there may be a disruption that looks like it will happen soon. So things are going to get shaky in some way. That could be shaky in specific industries. It could be shaky in world economy. It could be It could be messages from God, making it very clear that you resisting moving on in some way because the job that you're doing right now doesn't align with you anymore. Remember when I said that early on in the video where the energies are really getting powerful and bringing up things that you've been avoiding dealing with, and they need to heal in some way, or you need to take some actions that you never thought that you're resisting taking. Those things are going to be right there in your face. They are like, you won't be able to avoid them. This is a situation like this. And so it's good. It could bring up some feelings of fear or hopelessness. That's common. But I want you to calm your inner storm because it's happening for a bigger reason than you see right now. Every time that I was laid off in my career path, as an industrial engineer, I made things efficient, well, to the point where they didn't need my position anymore, and so they would lay me off. I'm like, okay. But there was always a reason for that. There was always a change in industry that I needed in order to grasp a different perspective of how different types of businesses and industries worked, and to broaden my skills for something that I maybe didn't understand, and I still quite don't understand, considering I'm not working as an industrial engineer right anymore. But there was a purpose for that. And I have to trust that that purpose is part of a bigger picture that I have not been shown yet, but will be revealed at some point down the road. Whatever is going to happen in this disruption, I want you to ask yourself, is this an opportunity for you to align with a new opportunity that fits better for you? That actually fits who you are today. That old job or the current job that you're working at may not fit you that you are today. It maybe fit you back then, but not. You've grown and expanded and changed so much. Is it time for you to release that resistance and let go of this job? The job that you know that doesn't align with you and maybe hasn't for some time. For some, the media industry Okay, I'm going to try and step aside right now because this part I don't necessarily want to bring up, but it was clear that it had to be said. So the media industry is going to have a shakeup in some way. It's already started to happen. And there's going to be a release from the past. So they're going to have to separate themselves from past habits, past influences, in order to move forward in new ways, to create more opportunities for them, because staying tethered to that past is not helping them move forward. So if you are working in this industry, look within and ask for guidance on how you are to move forward. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are to leave your career. It just means that you may have to adjust. Just adjust to new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating. But you also might be showing that it's time to actually spread your wings and move on and start a new path, start a new career in some way. The choice is yours. I'm not telling anyone that they need to quit their job if they're feeling stuck. What I'm saying is that universe wants you to explore what's possible for you, and if you're being shown in very obvious ways that it's time to move on, then start asking how you can do that. That will be best for your future and for your current situation. So yes, do what you need to do to start putting the feelers out for new opportunities. Whatever you choose to do, you have the power to manifest new opportunities that align for you. Whatever you choose to do, you have the power to manifest new opportunities that align for you. Relationships. Woo! Okay. You know how I was saying that there may be disruption and turmoil? Yes. Many of you might be feeling a bit of turmoil in your relationships now. Or what you may find is the turmoil or disruption starts coming up because someone in the relationship is being a little hot-headed at times, rushing in to react to situations that maybe isn't their responsibility to do, or maybe they should have paused before reacting so that they could sit with how they were feeling instead of reacting to a trigger that the other person was having. Is it an ish me or an ish them? Whose issue is it? Not every issue is yours to take on and work through. Not every issue is your responsibility. Old habits, old patterns, old dynamics get us into trouble. It's time to leave the past behind. Choose a new way of interacting, stepping into that relationship, a new way of stepping into that relationship. Empowering yourself to bring more calm and peace and understanding and appreciation for where you are in your journey and where the other person is in their journey. Giving you the opportunity to create new foundations for that relationship and create new outcomes for the relationship. Now, this is not necessarily just relationships with other people. The way I was talking, yes, that's how it makes it obvious that, it could be relationships with another person. But the turmoil that we feel inside of us when we are working through our own stuff, when we're feeling resistance in moving forward in some way, that's turmoil with our higher self. That's us not trusting what we're being shown and not loving ourselves through those triggers, those ish-me's, ourself. It's time to leave the past behind and to choose a new way. Choose how do we want to move forward in that relationship? How do we want to love ourselves more and be the change that we need in bigger ways? How can we create foundational support for ourselves, for our own journey, as well as for the relationships that really matter to us? When we are in a relationship with someone else and we are trying to be there for someone, we can't be there efficiently for another person if we are not taking care of who we are and loving ourselves for where we are in this moment. When we do that, we deplete ourselves, and we're running on an empty tank and essentially hurting ourselves emotionally, mentally, and physically and spiritually. Some of you have been walking alone or feeling like you have been alone in some way. But you're a lone wolf on a journey and you're not sure where that's going, or you really would like someone to be there with you. It's possible that you have been blinded in some way, and it's made you think that you were alone, that you weren't supported during this time. Something is flowing in for you that is going to show you how to leave the past behind, change your outlook, and open up your eyes to new opportunities. Or opportunities, maybe the opportunities were always there and you'll be able to see them clear as day. You are supported every step of the way. Drop a comment at any time. Let me know if this is resonating with you. I can't see the comments right now, but I will go back in the recordings and see what messages came through, and we'll respond to you. Okay, let's talk about health. Health in our physical, mental, and emotional state. Our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So there's a big theme around thoughts and words. Thoughts and words and how they impact us this month. How we are using them to communicate, how we're using them to really receive message and have them resonate through us so that we can figure out what we need to do with it, with that information. The thoughts and words that we hear, believe, and use have the power to impact our health. They can bring tension. They can bring dis-ease or disease. And they can disconnect. They actually can disconnect in ways that bring disconnect. They're actually, words and thoughts can actually bring more disconnect to your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Or words and thoughts have the power to empower you and help you lead the way to be the change that you want to be. Be the way to a healthier you. You have the power to choose the direction. For those that are having trouble seeing the signs or hearing the messages and knowing that our physical and mental health always, our physical and mental health always reveals the discord in our life. We will feel tension. We will find ourselves sick. We will find ourselves struggling in ways that, you find yourself tripping down the street every time you take a walk. There are messages that are sent through how we are using our physical body, how we are responding to life in a mental capacity, that will either empower us or disempower us in some way. So every thought, every word that we hear, communicate, use, has the power to empower us or disempower us through every moment that we experience. You are being sent additional opportunities. So if you haven't gotten the message yet, guess what? God's saying He's going to send some loving energy your way so that you can see those messages again. So you can work out what you need to work out, so you can break those patterns, so that you can release that tension, so that you can stop resisting and surrender to trusting Him and loving Him along the way. Release the resistance to old beliefs and be the change that your health needs. Okay. Wealth. Wealth is more than just our financial status. Wealth is our quality of life. Wealth is our quality of life. So as a collective, the people in the world, people on earth, I was shown that there's a plan. There's a plan for all of us. And the tides are changing. So in other words, for many of us, our quality of life hasn't been great for a very long time. We've seen evidence of that, not only for the last 2 years, but really for some of us, generations, like thousands of years. How that plan is going to play out, there's details that are evidence, but they're subtle. Trust that all will be revealed in good time, but know that there are things that are changing. They are charging ahead with the plan. And those that are helping bring these changes into fruition are adapting as they're guided so the best outcome is possible. I love that message. I love that message. See, we are always supported. Personally, when it comes to our own quality of life, our own wealth and well-being in our life, many of us have been guided to see a plan. So a plan started to come, we started seeing parts of the blueprint of how we're supposed to move forward in some way. And we are seeing more puzzle pieces coming together, and it's starting to make sense, a little bit more sense. For some of us that are in this situation and are being shown that we are to live bigger, see, live bigger. That can seem a little overwhelming. It can bring up, I don't want to lead. I'm not sure I'm the right person for this. Obviously you are, otherwise God wouldn't have given you this mission. You are supported every step of the way. So calm your inner storm and really anchor in to his grounding support, because it will help you confidently take those steps as you're being guided to take them. Take one step at a time by looking within and being shown and told the next inspiring action. Focus on what matters. So when your brain wants to take you all these different directions and get you all worried and overwhelmed and unsure what to do, you're in the weeds. When you're in the weeds, you need to come back to the narrow pathway, anchor yourself in to his loving, supporting energy, and just ask him, what's one thing that I need to do right now? That one thing could be, you need to sit and listen. It could be, you need to go for a walk and release some of that tension that's in your body. It could be, you need to go spend some time with your family and have some fun for a change. Or it could be, this is what I want you to do, my child. And you go, I don't know, yes, you can do it. Trust me. I've got you. Confidently move forward, adapting to the situations as you're guided to adapt. You've got this. Trust in that grounding support that's always been there, but you're learning how to use. Personal development. Ooh. Okay, personal development. Really all the stuff I've mentioned up until now, it falls under the umbrella of personal development, but there's a specific message in itself for any other growth opportunities that we may find ourselves in. So when you feel fear or feel out of balance in some way, no, trust that the right words and the thoughts will come to you, will help bring you towards the light. The light that is helping support you, helping ground your energies so that you can confidently move forward again in some way. Confidently work your way through a sticky situation within a relationship. Slow yourself down to the point where if you can't hear what you're being asked to do, slow yourself down. Breathe. And then ask. Ask what you need to hear. Ask what you need to do to move forward in some way. Then take action. So if you are sitting there going, I don't know which way to go, I don't know what to do, I don't know, and you hear this, breathe, and sit. Then listen. Well, your inspired action is going to be breathe, sit, and listen. You may not even hear those things. Sometimes we hear them, it's ringing in the ears. If it's the left ear, there's something that you need to do. So if you're busy going around everything and you're not slowing down and you hear your left ear ringing, there's a pretty good chance God's going, you know what? Sit. Or if you've been avoiding things and not wanting to hear what God is trying to say, your right ear could be ringing. He's trying to give you a message, a loving message just for you. Your inspired action is empowered by loving energy. But we need to know that that is loving energy and trust that it will help us move forward in some way. When you learn to know what that loving energy feels like and know that you can trust yourself and trust God to receive what you need to receive in the exacting moment or in time in order to take those actions that you need to take, then you are able to move forward one step at a time with confidence and grounding, supporting energy. No matter what. Okay, so final pillar. The final pillar is spirituality. It is last but not least. What you have been doing, if you are listening to your intuition, if you are following the inspired actions that you are receiving, you are advancing your spiritual journey. You are deepening your connection with your higher self, and it's a loving energy that is not based out of fear or disempowerment, but it is a loving, trusting energy, a loving, trusting relationship that is sacred with God, as you are truly tapping into His knowledge. So the messages for our spiritual journey is there are times to rush ahead. There are times to take it slow and steady. You will be guided each step of the way. If you are trusting and loving yourself through every single moment. So waves of knowledge could be coming towards you, where you're feeling like you're getting all of this information and sometimes it doesn't make sense on where it needs to go. Just write it down. The puzzle pieces will start clicking together eventually. Sometimes that wave of information, a wave of energy comes to you because it's a creative energy where you all of a sudden go, oh, that's what I need to do with that? Okay, so you take action. You do what you need to do and you feel like, I don't know where I'm getting all this energy, but I'm feeling like I need to keep going until you need to stop. That wave of creative energy is lighting a fire under you because the time is now to take action. Soak it in, enjoy it, and do what you're being asked to do. Because a lot of times when we do that, what we're doing is also clearing out the barriers that are ahead for us. We're clearing the pathway for us. God's going, okay, yeah, she's not who she used to be because she's doing what we asked her to do. So we don't need this stuff in the way anymore. Clear it away. Open the pathway. She's ready. That's manifestation. You are preparing now for the journey forward. Trust in the guidance and follow the light. Because there's a flip side to this. When we find ourselves trying to control the flow, trying to control the information we're getting, or trying to control how busy we are, or how busy we feel we need to be, what we're doing is we're actually absorbing the energy that is available for us right now. And then we're seeking without trusting. Because we are ultimately trying to direct the pathway that may not be aligned with the opportunities that are waiting for us. Now, I want to try and make this clear. When we find ourselves trying to control how we receive the information, when we receive the information, what actions that we are being asked to do and going, oh no, I don't like doing that, I'm going to do this instead. What we're doing is we are directing the pathway that isn't necessarily meant for us. We are directing the pathway that isn't necessarily aligned with who we will be when we get to that next part of our journey. Now, we are supported through that whole misdirection in that God will go, okay, no, you made that decision. Okay, well, here's the opportunity that's next for you then. And that opportunity may not be what the abundance that was waiting for you originally. It might be another growth opportunity where you need to work through another barrier that you've put along the pathway. Because you were trying to control the flow in some way. So notice the resistance. Notice the need to control. And let it go. Trust the journey. Trust the flow of energy that's coming to you. And be in the flow. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you for joining me on with this video. If any of this resonated with you, please do like, share, subscribe to my channel. And I'm sending you all love throughout the month. I will be doing a weekly energy insight to help you along the way. Every week throughout the month, just like I normally do. So stay tuned.